All right. Welcome back to Empty Screening, everybody. My name's David. These are two of my co-hosts. How you guys doing today?
We're back.
We're back.
Doing peachy keen.
Love to hear it, Regan. Um, School going well for you guys
For the
It's,
most part.
it's not
for the
really
most part?
started yet, so
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
don't know how it's gonna shake up to be, but looking forward to it.
Nice. And you said you had some projects coming up. Film-related projects, short films. Like, what are you doing in that regard?
Yeah. I'm gonna be working on something for this little film festival that BYU down in Provo does. So I'm gonna be working on that, and I'm thinking because I've been watching Twin Peaks, it's probably gonna be inspired a little bit by what I've been seeing. So
Nice, dude.
I'm hoping to go kind of crazy with it, and then
Uh,
yeah, after I'm done with that, I hope to just make some spec work stuff. So
Sick. Elliot, how about you?
Same deal. I got promoted to team lead for the production crew at our school, so I'll be pretty busy. Work. We're actually overhauling every piece of equipment in our studio, so a whole new light system, a whole new control room. So as far as broadcasting and stuff goes, I'm gonna be there for the install just to make sure I understand how everything works. But that is very exciting for me. What's not exciting are the class loads. So since I have like 2 semesters left, it's a lot of the more challenging classes that are
Yeah.
also classes I like. I have 2 research classes, which is strange for video production. So PR research and communication research is what I'm doing this semester, and that is whatever, I guess.
Not ideal, but what can you do? You got to grind through it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, something we can all look forward to in the big year 2026. We got some new movie releases. Um, I'd say overall for me, I'm getting pretty excited about this year in movies in particular. I feel like we got a lot of really big action blockbuster type movies, the big ones that get everybody to go to the theaters. And then we got some more smaller, art house films that I'm also really looking forward to. So, how about you guys? Do you think 2026 is shaping up to be a good year?
Yeah, I do. Um, last year was really good in shows. I just actually finished. Well, not finished. I have 1 episode left of Pluribus. And so going into last year, I figured the shows were going to be pretty good. And there's a couple this year that I'm excited for. But as for movies last year, I wasn't too thrilled for what was coming up at the beginning of the year. Like, there were definitely. Superman was huge for me. F1 was actually on my radar. But this year, I feel like there's so much more that at least is mainstream. And as for like indie art house, like more under the radar ones, I feel like it's really hard to know at the beginning of the year. You
Yeah,
really
no, that's
just
for
don't
sure.
know. So that's why I feel like most of these lists are pretty much the big ones. But
Yeah, for sure. How about you, Regan?
I totally agree with what Elliot's saying. There's a lot that I'm looking forward to be sitting in the theater for.
Yeah.
There are definitely a lot of event films this year. Some of them are good. Some of them debatable whether or not they're exciting for people. Um, and then indie wise, uh, there's a lot on the horizon that I know is gonna come out at some point, but they just never make the release dates for those until like the last minute. So
yeah, yeah.
Cool. Do we want to list off some honorable mentions? Um, I don't know. How do you guys want to go about this before we hop into our top five list?
I got I got a couple of honorable mentions that
I
Okay.
can
yeah, I do
shout out.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, so I only have three honorable mentions.
Okay.
It's a short list. Um, First, My mom loves the first one, and I watched it and I thought it was pretty funny. But The Devil Wears Prada 2, the whole original cast is coming back, so at least they're gonna bring the same energy as the first one. It's probably not gonna be as good, but I'll have I'll go watch it with my mom, and I know I'm gonna have fun if I do that. Second is we're getting a new Shyamalan movie this year
Ooh, dude.
called Remain. The interesting thing about this movie is that Remain, the screenplay is written by M. Night Shyamalan and Nicholas Sparks. And if you know who Nicholas Sparks is, that should make some bells go off in your head. And then putting the cherry on top, it stars Jake Gyllenhaal, which is crazy. I can't wait to sit down and watch Jake Gyllenhaal spout some Shyamalan dialogue to my face.
I feel like Jake has the capability of making some really bad Shyamalan lines be really fun, kind of like a Josh Hartnett type of deal.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't know. I think that could be a good time for sure.
yeah. And then last of my honorable mentions, this is kind of my blind spot for superheroes, but Spider-Man: Brand New Day, the new Spider-Man. I don't really watch the MCU anymore, but the stuff they've been releasing about like the production of Spider-Man and the people that they've said are going to be in the movie has definitely like piqued the superhero stuff that I tend to prefer. And like Tom Holland got injured on set doing a set. There's pictures of him doing like the actual swinging, and that got me hyped. Like they seem to have the right mindset for what this Spider-Man movie should be, and I'm looking forward to it. So
I was a little
That's also
nervous
what-
for that one just because of like switching directors. I had so much confidence in John Watts and stuff, and then Shang-Chi I was kind of underwhelmed by. I didn't think he was very great, so I wasn't sure, but it is the same writers as the Holland trilogy, so, and I think writers are the most important part. I just always get nervous when you hear all the potential side characters that are going to be in there, like Sadie Sink, you got Hulk, you got Punisher, and I just it runs the fear of being bloated or kind of losing what it is, especially without John Watts at the head. But I mean, I'm here for it. I'll check it out. I love the original Tom Holland movies.
Yeah, and I'm definitely in the team. I'm excited for that one. I don't know if this movie's going to be on your list, but I am much more excited about the Spider-Man movie than I am for Doomsday. I just think I like Spider-Man. I agree with what Regan was saying about the stunts looking really cool. So that's one of my honorable mentions. Another one, I know basically nothing about it, but The Drama with Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. It's an A24 movie. That didn't quite make my cut, but just based on that, and it's directed by Christopher
Weird
Borgli.
trailer.
And yeah, I kind of liked how weird the trailer was and everything, and definitely piqued my interest. So that's an honorable mention.
yeah.
And then one that
I was
Oh, go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say Robert Pattinson's character in that movie seems like a huge wet blanket, which is really funny to me. So
Yeah, Robert Pattinson, if he's in anything, I automatically get a little excited for it. So that's on my list. And then finally, one that probably is going to make Regan's list. Maybe it won't. I don't know. That's 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. I'm pretty excited for that one. I've heard good buzz so far from people who've seen it in early screenings and whatnot. So I'm excited for that one. Those are some of my honorable mentions. How about you, Elliot?
Okay, I have a lot here. I wanted to start with the ones
Go
that
for
I'm
it.
probably not gonna see, and I want to put it on the record out here that these are probably gonna be awful. Born Again season 2, not excited for that one. Rings of Power season 3, I will watch that one for sure, but I'm gonna hate every second.
I stopped after season 1. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, so did everyone else. I don't know anyone else that's up to date with it, but I feel like I have to. I'm a completionist. The Mandalorian and Green.
Oh yeah, that
The
man,
return
that's-
to Star Wars movies. It's like I don't even know if I can see it, but I am very, very excited to see how that performs at the box office. I think that'll be cool. Toy Story 5, they need to stop. And then
They gotta
Supergirl. I think Supergirl is going to be mid at best. So there's
That's kind of
those.
what I feel too.
Yeah. But as for my honorable mentions, like, I kind of put them in categories. Like, these are all things I'm kind of excited for, and I'm going to rattle them off pretty fast instead of talking about them. At number 5, I have the big Ds. Big directors, and their movies start with D as well. So I have Dune Part 3 and Disclosure Day. I think both of those are going to be cool. They just didn't quite make my list. At 4, I had the fighting movies. We have Mortal Kombat 2 and Street Fighter. I think both of those are going to be fun. Kind of an interesting combo. 3, I have some spooky movies. We have Scary Movie 6, Evil Dead Burn, and Zach Kreger's Resident Evil. So I think those could be
Nice.
cool. I just don't know much about them. 2, I have like the superhero movies like Spider-Man and Doomsday. I don't really have high hopes for either of them, but those are 2 I'll be there. Well, just to see how they do it. And then number 1, it honestly, like, this is a big honorable mention because I'm very, very, very curious. But Masters of the Universe live action. I'm a big He-Man fan. My car is Skeletor. I mean, I have a Skeletor. I love He-Man. Jared Leto is gonna play Skeletor, and I'm so curious
Oh my
to know
gosh, dude,
if they're gonna play it
no.
straight or if they're gonna meme it. Because I could see him going both directions, and we just don't know pretty much anything about it except for like Idris Elba, Man of Arms. Other than that, I don't know any of the cast members. I will guaranteed be in that movie though, and I think it could be either a very funny bad movie or it could like try and be serious and be really underwhelming. So I don't know.
I just, as soon as I heard Jared Leto as Skeletor, I was like, my morbid curiosity reached peak levels. That sounds incredible. And I agree with the 2 fighting game movies. I thought the Street Fighter movie looked like a lot of fun.
They
and
both look so
cast.
fun.
Yeah, the Mortal Kombat one looks fun as well. So I like that they're really leaning into the like 80s action cheese
Johnny
kind of
Cage.
that the genres were founded in. So I'm excited for both of those. Okay, should we?
I was gonna
hop
say
into
there's
our
actually
list?
2 more. These were
Okay, yeah.
shows. These were shows, and they're both Game of Thrones shows. I'm really excited for House of the Dragon season 3, and Night of the Seven Kingdoms comes out this month as well. But House of the Dragon season 3, I'm really hyped for, because I thought season 2 was pretty good, but they got greenlit for a 4th season, so they actually cut the 2 episodes at the end off to make more room, and those 2 episodes are going to be the start of this one. So it was all leading up to a big battle. They blue ball you with basically a trailer at the end, like in the season finale, so nothing actually really happened in the season finale except they blue ball you for a massive fight. But I think it's a really, really solid show, and I am really excited. And then Night of the Seven Kingdoms looks really good too, and that'll be fun to watch at the end of this month. I mean, if they were movies, they'd be high on my list of things I'm excited for. But considering they were shows, I did stick them to the side. I don't know.
Sweet. I'm not super in touch with like Game of Thrones stuff, so
I would
but
I would still check out House of the Dragon. That's a pretty
Okay.
big recommend from me. I mean, I watched Game of Thrones after, mostly because I knew like the ending.
Yeah.
And it's funny that Stranger Things is getting compared to that, but I would recommend House of the Dragon. Just check it out. It's really
Cool.
solid television. Really solid.
I'll have to. Okay, let's just hop right into the list. Elliot, you want to go first, and then we can go Regan and then me.
So my number 5, I was debating kind of between this and Master of the Universe because I could see it being really bad. And we just don't know too much about it. But I am so intrigued by Mike Flanagan's Clayface. I'm a big
Okay.
Mike Flanagan fan. And I am also kind of souring on the superhero genre, but I think like Batman villains are so awesome. Like I felt the same when I heard there was a Joker movie. I was like, bruh, there's no way this is gonna be good. But I think like the creative freedom that and like the potential here for something. Mike Flanagan's so good with his characters, and it feels separate enough that it's not going to be pandering to a universe the whole time. I'm just really, really curious to see how it's going to be, and I love body horror so much. And I feel like Mike Flanagan has had some in his shows, but he hasn't had a lot. So I'm really curious to see not only his take on superhero, but also body horror. And I just have a lot of trust in Mike Flanagan. I think it could be something really special we'll get in October. So I'm excited to see some trailers or whatever, because we essentially have nothing on it right now.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
One note is that Mike Flanagan wrote the screenplay, but he's not actually directing.
Uh-oh.
So.
Uh-oh.
Well, if he wrote the screenplay, like you were saying earlier, that's like, the most important part.
It is, yeah. But there's...
And
I mean, you gotta translate that to screen, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And apparently they were really impressed with his screenplay, so I guess we'll see.
I've been impressed by all of his stuff. And Midnight Mass and Hill House, they did not stick the landing at the ending. So, I mean, I'm a little iffy with him on how he handles endings. But for a movie, I feel like he's one of the most reliable we have in not only horror, but just movies in general. Life of Chuck was pretty awesome. Nice, feel good.
I haven't seen enough Mike Flanagan movies. I actually don't think I've seen any, which is crazy, a huge blind spot on my end, but need to get more into the Mike Flanagan filmography for sure.
Yeah.
Cool, Regan, you want to go next?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so my number 5 is horror movie from a great director. I love Robert Eggers. I love his attention to detail and the way he puts so much effort into making sure that they're using like the correct accents and that the time period is correct. So his new movie Werewolf is coming out in December, Christmas Day, and I'm pretty hyped for it. He says it's probably the darkest film he's ever made, which is saying a lot because he made The Witch. So, yeah, I don't know what to expect, but Willem Dafoe is once again in it, so automatically that's a guarantee for me. So.
Yeah, that actually also doesn't make my top 5. I was really considering between that one and my number 5 spot. So put it down as an honorable mention for me as well. My number 5 is made one of my favorite horror movies of 2025. Zach Cregger with Resident Evil. So I've heard that most of the Resident Evil games or movies just suck. Aren't very good.
Okay,
except for maybe the
as
first
someone
one.
who's seen all of them, I need you to understand that all of them are absolutely hilarious. Like, those are movies you need to watch with a group of friends. Like, they are so funny. Peak 2000s.
Maybe I'll have to tune into them before I go see this.
Wildly absurd.
I love Zach Cregger's style, and from everything I've heard, he's been given basically complete creative freedom with this movie. And that automatically just like piques my interest so much. And I actually literally just started playing Resident Evil 4 before we started this stream. I'm very excited to play through that game. And basically from everything I know about Resident Evil, I know I'm already going to really like both the games, and Zach Cregger is also a huge Resident Evil fan in general. So I'm just beyond psyched to see what he does with this movie. Maybe it's not going to be the best thing ever, but I'm very excited regardless. That's my number 5.
I also beat Resident Evil 4 last semester. I thought it was really solid. One of the few games that I was interested enough in to not only start but finish. So awesome.
Nice.
Number 4 is I had Project Hail Mary. I liked The Martian enough, but I'm not like a exclusive sucker for space movies. I just feel like it's been a long time since we've really had one I've been super interested in. I feel like this might fit the bill. So I'll be there for it. I think Ryan Gosling's fun. And from what I've heard, like the story, like the book is really solid. And so I feel like it could be a fun atmosphere, a fun story with some good acting. The trailers seem fine enough. I think the worst thing that could happen is we get a few like cheesy jokes that don't super land. But I think it's looks good. I don't know. I want a space movie.
Yeah, I have read the book, and the book is really good. Um, the trailer didn't do that much for me, and I will say, without like context, the trailer spoils way more than I thought it would.
Huh.
But it does look like a lot of fun. So
I was gonna say the trailer didn't necessarily pique my interest. I feel like I'm more like basing this off of I know the story's very beloved, and I don't know. I think it has the potential to be good. It's hard to know with trailers these days, you know. Never
Yeah,
know
for
what's up
sure.
with the marketing team.
And Chris Miller and Phil Lord, who are kind of legends in their own regard, especially in animation. Um, Sometimes their sense of humor kind of gets a little grating for me. It's just
That's
like
my
the joke per
concern.
minute type of deal. Like it was really funny at first. I loved it when I first saw it with the Lego movie, and the Spider-Verse movies are obviously incredible, but sometimes I see some of their films and I just get exhausted by it. And
Yeah,
not all the jokes land super well for me. So I'm a little skeptical, but I love Ryan Gosling, so
Mhm.
I hopefully optimistic.
that's where
yeah.
I'm at.
Okay, my number 4. David knows me too well because my number 4 is 28 Days Later, The Bone Temple.
Let's go.
I know it comes out next week, and I'm still so hyped for it. When that first movie,
I just
when the when 28 Years Later finished in the theater, I was immediately like, I need the second one right now. And like I knew they had filmed them back to back, so I knew it couldn't have been that far away. And so when I found out it was coming out this January, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm there. I want to see what happens with this. I'm I'm really excited. The trailers have been really cool, like showing off this really tense and dirty vibe that wasn't in the first one that I'm really digging. Um, Rafe Fiennes' character looks like he has a lot more to do, which I'm happy about. That a lot to look forward to. I'm excited. So
I just can't get over the name The Bone Temple. That's
well,
the name of a movie. That's hilarious. The Bone
yeah,
out
I
of
know.
context, bro. I'm hyped for the Bone Temple. I hope we get lots of Samson the Hung. Man, it's gonna be a strange time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And
I'll
I'm
probably check it
especially
out.
yeah, I really like that it makes me appreciate the first one more because when they went to the Bone Temple in the first one, again, like it's super sacred and kind of spiritual, which I
Spiritual
really like.
Bone Temple.
And I really like that because in this one it seems like they're going full into like, this place could be terrifying. So,
I like that, Regan. My number 4. I really don't know much about the plot for this movie. I've heard the basic synopsis and that's about it. But I am getting more and more excited about this movie the more I think about it. And that is Digger by Alejandro Iñárritu. So, Tom Cruise for the past 2 decades has basically exclusively been in action movies. So a lot of people our age don't really realize that when he was in the 90s, he was actually a very, very talented actor in his own regard. He worked in dramas, he worked in action movies, he worked in comedies, he worked in all sorts of types of film. And Digger by Alejandro Iñárritu is a comedy. And just from the very brief teaser trailer, which has a Gorillaz song in it, which automatically even gets me more excited for the movie. If that's the tone they're going for, I am all in for Digger by Alejandro. I am just so excited that after Mission Impossible, which I love those movies, fantastic movies, I'm excited that he's taking some new career risks, that he's working with a well-established, beloved director, that he's going in a different direction. He's going for a tone that he normally doesn't go for. I can't wait to see what this movie is. Apparently, it's about the most powerful person in the world trying to save the world or something like that. But regardless, very excited for Digger. So that's my number 4.
Tom Cruise, in the most recent news headline, filmed a scene in Star Wars Starfighter or something. So there's
Really?
that to look forward to. Yeah, he showed up on set one
Yes.
day and they're like, "Hey, do you want to film a lightsaber fight?" And he's like, "Sure." So he did.
Yeah, apparently he was like in nice clothes, so he ruined his shoes or something. But you know, that's just Tom Cruise.
That's Tom Cruise, I guess.
I'm sure he was thrilled to get to be in a Star Wars movie. So
Yeah. My number 3 is, I actually don't even know if it's a prequel or a sequel, but I have a bit of a history with, I love seeing the Godzilla movies in the theater, specifically the 2014 one and the King of the Monsters, which were not great movies, but there was something about the theater experience that made me go back to both of those 2 or 3 times. That final fight in San Francisco, and one of the movies that I never got a chance to see in the theaters was Godzilla -1. But I was shocked that they were able to take a Godzilla movie and make the characters interesting, like make a cool story. And obviously, like, just it being on a budget was really cool. So when I heard we were getting Godzilla -0 this year, I thought, dang, that sounds cool. I'll be there for that. So I don't know much about it. I'm excited for it though.
yeah, apparently James Cameron has a hand in like the CGI departments
Oh,
or
really?
in the cinematography or something like
I
that.
knew he really liked the first one. He wanted to be involved. I didn't know if he actually was involved with this one or wanted to help with the next one, but that's cool.
That one was one where I almost made my list as well. I love -1, obviously. Who doesn't? That's an amazing movie. Didn't quite make my cut, so that would be another honorable mention for me too. Super excited for that one.
Yeah. All right. My number 3. I'm actually surprised it ended up this low on my list, but it's gonna be Dune Part 3.
Oh, okay.
Dune Part 3. Of course, naturally, I'm excited for it. Denis Villeneuve, uh, flipping Hans Zimmer back for the score. Timothy Chalamet, Robert Pattinson's going to be in this one. They're adapting Dune Messiah, so it's going to go in some interesting places, which I'm excited for. It's going to be a blockbuster sequel that's going to take some risks that I know people are going to be really split on. And so I'm looking forward to it. Greg Fraser, the cinematographer, is not back for this one, but he is replaced by Linus Sandgren, who's an equally talented cinematographer. He did the last James Bond movie, No Time to Die.
Okay, yeah, that's a beautiful looking movie.
Yeah, and that movie looks great, and he did a couple of other things as well that look pretty good. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Whether or not it comes out the same day as Doomsday, I don't think it will. But yeah, regardless, whatever happens, I'm seeing that first. So
I don't even.
Doomsday.
Yeah, I might just see Dune 2 times that day, honestly. My number 3 pick, I have, I mean, one of the GOATs, one of the greatest directors of all time. I think pretty much everybody on the planet can agree with that. And that's Steven Spielberg's Decision Day. As soon Disclosure Day. Yes, my bad. Disclosure Day. As soon as I heard whisperings of new Steven Spielberg movie and it was being composed by John Williams, I was like, okay, that's going to be one of the best movies of the year. And on top of that, Steven Spielberg has had one hell of a 2020s decade so far. Whereas like the 2000s and the 2010s, his movies were much more mixed, especially in the 2010s. 2020s, we had West Side Story, which is great Steven Spielberg film. And then we have The Fabelmans, which is one of my favorite Spielberg movies ever. And I think with Disclosure Day, he's taking it back to his roots. He's making an alien movie. That automatically just gets me so psyched. And then freaking Josh O'Connor, one of my favorite actors working right now, He's in there. Emily Blunt is in there. I just feel like this could be an absolute slam dunk. The trailer looked awesome. It's very eerie. It's very strange. Gives me Close Encounters of the Third Kind vibe, which I love that movie as well. Beyond excited for Disclosure Day. Steven Spielberg. That's my number 3.
Yeah, I think it was in my honorable mentions, but again, I just CGI deer running around is a little weird to me, but I just don't. I don't entirely know what it's going to be. I think there's a chance it could be not great. But I think there's also a chance it could be absolutely super fantastically awesome. So we'll see. We'll see on that one. My number, what are we at, 2? My number 2 is The Odyssey. I mean, we've been hearing about this for a long time now. New camera, crazy mega cast. But I'm mostly interested in like just seeing The Odyssey on the big screen. I think it's a really cool story, and I love me some Cyclops and some voyages and some battles, and it's like no matter who the director is or who the actors are, I think it could be really, really cool. But the fact that it's Nolan is really, really, really cool. Hopefully it's not too long. I feel like the soundtrack is almost guaranteed to be really good with our boy Ludwig, and yeah, I'll be there for that. I hopefully won't be in Alaska. I might be, but I'll see it. It's
one you got to see on the biggest screen possible.
Yeah.
And maybe gross Alaska theaters isn't the best format to watch it in.
I might not be going back though.
Yeah, I'm not going back this year, unfortunately. Yeah. Regan, what you got for number 2?
Number 2 is one that you just mentioned, which is Disclosure Day. I am beyond excited for this. Like, I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for this. The trailer was incredible. The moment she just like starts stuttering and making those freaky soda pop noises, I was hooked. Yeah, we're getting new Spielberg. It looks like he is going full in on like his blocking, which I'm really happy about. We're getting a new John Williams score again. It may be his last, maybe not. I don't know, but I'm glad that he's still collaborating with Williams. Yeah, there's not much. It's Steven Spielberg, new Steven Spielberg. I'm just glad he's still around so that his name can get people in seats. So
yeah, I love that we get the chance as a nation to see another Spielberg movie. Like, that's just special in general. My number 2, one Regan already mentioned, Denis Villeneuve. I love the man. For a long time, he was my favorite director, and that's kind of shifted around a little bit, but still undeniably, Denis Villeneuve has never made a bad movie. He is so consistent, and I have no doubt that Dune Part 3 is going to be amazing. Regan mentioned how Dune Messiah gets a little weird in the book. I'm thinking that they're going to have to make some pretty substantial changes in order to make it like into a movie, and I'm very curious on how they're going to adapt it. But regardless, top tier cast, incredible composer, incredible director, good cinematographer, as well as it sounds like. They're shooting the movie on film, which they didn't do for the first 2 parts, so I'm excited to see the look of the film. In Denis we trust. So Dune Part 3 is my number 2.
Awesome.
Yeah, they also drastically changed something at the end of Part 2 that did not happen in the book.
Yes.
So Dune, this Part 3 is already going to be different from the get-go. So
it sounds like there's going to be much less of a time skip between the end of Part 2 and the start of Part 3 as compared to the book, which takes place like decades later after the Holy War and whatnot. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm very curious.
All right, my number 1 was already mentioned by Regan, but it's Mike was a surprise. Eggers Werewolf. I think I am insanely excited for. I'm a fan of the kind of the gothic horror resurgence that we're getting. I thought Nosferatu is really strange, but like the aesthetic it created was unlike anything that year. Like, yeah. I was kind of shocked by the cinematography, and just the mood it created, and a werewolf movie sounds so. I love American Werewolf in London. I love even just like the cheesy side ones. There's one called Ginger Snaps that I thought was kind of fun. That like the Teen Wolf stuff is kind of fun too. Like I think getting a really serious and hopefully a one up from Wolfman, last year's Wolfman.
That's basically a guarantee.
I can't wait. I think it's going to be awesome.
I agree. Hearing you guys talk about that makes me wish I had put that on my number 5 spot because it's going to be incredible. Robert Eggers is another like one of those never made a bad movie type of guys. I love all of his movies. Regan, I feel like I know what your number 1 is, but go ahead and share it with us.
I can guess too.
But real quick before I get to it, I'll recommend a werewolf movie to you, Elliot. It's called Dog Soldiers.
Oh yeah, is that Neil Marshall? Right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really good too. He did The Descent.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yes.
And I love The Descent. Might be a top 5 horror movie ever made. Because I think that's one where like all the characters are super competent and things don't necessarily go their way. Best jump scare I've maybe ever seen in a movie too. Shout out Neil Marshall.
I still haven't seen The Descent, so I got to add that one to my watch list.
Pretty good.
Another great werewolf movie. I don't know if either of you guys have seen it, but In the Company of Wolves.
Oh yeah,
is
yeah.
a fantastic werewolf.
I think that's
movie.
on my list. I actually haven't gotten to that one.
It kind of took me aback because one of our coworkers up in Alaska, he came up to me and was like, "David, let's watch this movie." I wasn't really expecting too much from it, but it like blew me away. It's like one of the most uniquely looking movies I've seen in a long time, and really awesome. Definitely check that one out if you haven't.
Yeah.
But anything else we want to say before you get into your number 1, Regan?
No, I don't think so. And with that, to no one's surprise, my number 1 is Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. I don't know. From the minute they announced what his next movie was going to be, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm in. Like I saw The Odyssey and I'm like, he's doing that. I can't believe it. And The Odyssey is so rich with like story and characters. I just have to see the end result to see how he's gonna pull it off because I can't see how you can do it under 3 hours. Like this is definitely gonna be like a 3.5 hour movie.
I think so too, and I think it needs to be that long. I really do think that.
Yeah, and then like the casting choices are really bold. Like he's casting people I would have not thought to be in these roles. Like Matt Damon as Odysseus is not somebody that jumps out at me, but like seeing him in the trailer, like I don't know, maybe he can pull it off. Like he lost a lot of weight for the role too. They were filming with full IMAX cameras out on the open water, risking millions of dollars of equipment. The Cyclops is apparently an animatronic, which is crazy to me.
Man, it's so cool.
And they're jumping around to like the actual Greek islands that where these events take place. Like he went full in on this, and I'm blown away just by like hearing about the production.
It's gonna be huge.
And so even if the movie's like story ends up being a little bloated and kind of awkward, I'm probably just gonna enjoy it for what's happening on screen and what I'm seeing, how they pulled off everything. So
yeah, I don't know. That's my number 1 as well. The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan. I can't think of too many stories that feel like they're more tailor-made for Christopher Nolan too, because if you've read The Odyssey, it is all told out of order, which is like the Nolan, stamp. That's his thing. He loves telling his stories non-linearly. The story is all about this guy who really wants to go home, which if you've seen all the Nolan movies, that's like a huge part of every single character. Like even Oppenheimer, a large part of his motivation is he wants to do physics and be at his place in New Mexico, which is like his home. He wants to get back to America while he's studying in Europe. You talk about Interstellar, which is like the space version of the Odyssey. You talk about Inception and Leonardo DiCaprio's trying to get home with his family. I just feel like as soon as they announced Chris Nolan The Odyssey, like the stars were just in perfect alignment, and I really think this could be something truly special. It's been my most anticipated movie ever since they first announced it, and it still is my most anticipated movie of 2026. I'm psyched out of my mind to go check this one out.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now both of you mentioned it, but and Saul mentioned it too. I'm probably going to be back up in Alaska when this comes out.
Oh, no.
But I am sorely tempted to purchase a ticket and fly to Anchorage and go to the IMAX theater there so I can see in IMAX. So
It might be
see
worth
what
it.
happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it might be.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Any last thoughts before we wrap up? I'm pretty excited about 2026. I think
Yeah.
this is going to be a really solid year for movies, and like we said, I think this could be a big year for movie studios as well. If studios have been doing kind of poorly since COVID, and I think this could be a really good rebound year for movie
For everyone
studios.
except for Lucasfilm, they have decided they still want to just shoot themselves in the foot as many possible times as they can,
Yeah.
but everyone else
Yeah,
seems
you
to
know-
be eating nice.
I was a big Mandalorian defender for, the first two seasons of
And
the
then
show.
season 3 happened.
Oh man,
I was a defender for the first 2 episodes as well.
I can't think of any show that made me lose interest quicker than The Mandalorian. Like any desire I had to see those two characters more just like evaporated. It was so sad.
That's why it's like, why
So-
is they've been so careful with the movies that they've been putting out. And it's like they know the reception was so bad for season 3, and I just don't. They can't expect the hype to get people to that theater, and
Yeah.
hopefully that means they are confident that what they've made is quality. But I don't trust them, especially
Yeah.
Favreau or Filoni or whatever. Like their track record with Star Wars Favreau has made great stuff in isolation, but his impact on Star Wars, I don't think it's been anything special, and
Yeah.
I don't trust him.
I'm a little sad because I think Mandalorian season 1 is like a 10 out of 10. Like honestly, that is great Star Wars, and Favreau. That was when Favreau got to like do his like thing that he wanted to do, and then like season 2, you start to see like the Filoni influence, and season 2 is still great, but now it's just
That
full
was
Filoni.
flat out the cameo of the week show. Like
Yeah,
there was
I agree,
nothing
but-
there, and that's when you really start to realize the Mandalorian is not a character. I did
I
not.
disagree
think,
with that. I think the Mandalorian is a really good character if used properly. He's the Western character, and you could say that a Western character is kind of shallow or one-noted, but there's a lot of interesting things you can do with him.
There is, I just don't feel after the first season he was anything more than a placeholder for the audience to be interacting with cameos from all over the Star Wars universe. I think they really were afraid to grow him past season 1, which I feel like it was near the end of season 1 that I started to feel this way, especially when it's like it feels like he's going to be getting new pieces of his armor, and then one episode he just gets everything, and then we have Taika Waititi making fun of stormtroopers, which was really weird, making it canon that they can't shoot straight, and then Moff Gideon, I feel like, was taking a Giancarlo Esposito and not doing anything really super interesting with him. Like, it just felt like there were obviously good ideas, and I think the atmosphere they create with the first few episodes is really good, but I was not impressed then, and I don't think this was the move.
Yeah, they were gonna make a fourth season, but I really think my theory is that Pedro Pascal has become too big of an actor, and he's in The Last of Us, but The Last of Us is prestige TV, and let's face it, The Mandalorian is not prestige TV.
Yeah.
And I think it's above his pay grade to be paid for that kind of work.
Well,
So they
he
changed
doesn't
it into
have
a
any
movie.
range. Well, I mean, he as an actor
They-
has range, but he doesn't have the opportunity to, I don't know.
Yeah,
do stuff.
and so that's why they had to transition to a movie to keep
Ooh,
him
Discord.
as the character, which is kind of offensive to me. So
Yeah. Also the special effects look really lackluster. I mean, just look at Rogue One. Like, say what you want about, plot stuff of Rogue One, but the special effects in that movie are phenomenal.
They're mind
maybe
blowing.
maybe the best in any Star Wars movie. This just feels like a downgrade from a movie that came out 10 years ago. Like that's
I
just
can't
insulting,
attribute Gareth
you know?
Edwards to Rogue One. Shout out our boy, because I mentioned Godzilla earlier. Not good Godzilla 2014, but that San Francisco bit was like, Gareth Edwards knows the spectacle.
Special effects are incredible.
Hey, do
Yeah.
we know who's directing this one?
I think it's Jon Favreau.
it's Jon Favreau.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So we'll see how it goes. I agree with
whatever.
what you were saying, Regan, about the Dave Filoni influence being a little
Ahsoka season
scary.
2. Get ready.
Yeah, I think
Dave
he was
Filoni is corrupting Star Wars.
he was like the hero of Star Wars for a solid few years there, but
It makes you wonder.
it's-
He's one of those stories that makes you wonder. It's like, how much of that was him? You know?
Hmm.
How much of it
Yeah.
was him? 'Cause
yeah,
the more
He's
freedom he
just
gets, the
too-
worse things are, and the more it feels like smashing two action figures together.
yeah.
He's too obsessed with one period of time in Star Wars and too obsessed with the characters that he creates
Mhm.
to like focus on anything else. So
Yeah. I was a little scared when they announced him to be like the new, or it makes it seem like he might be the new president of Star Wars. And I
No
guess
one knows
we've
what's
all,
happening at Lucasfilm.
yeah, we've all confessed our love for Andor. And it feels like we were at the top of the world. We were on Mount Everest, and now we're at the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
Well, you have to understand,
That's-
Andor lost money. Like, despite its
Mhm.
critical accolades, it was not a financial success. And
Yeah.
we're going to see the consequences for that. It will forever, anytime, like, when Ahsoka comes out, everyone is going to compare it to Andor. That is a fact. But we're just
Yeah.
not going to get more Andor stuff.
It's hard not
It's
to.
not a
Like,
financial move for them, and so they're not going to do
It's
it.
hard. It's hard not to compare all the other Disney Star Wars stuff to Andor now because it's just so much leagues better than everything else. But what can you do?
yeah.
Real
We're
quick.
kind
Alright,
of getting lost in the sauce.
Yeah,
now.
let's-
I was gonna say, before we
let's
close,
wrap
I'm
this up.
glad we stalled a little bit because Ezra did just send me a text wanting to shout out his #1 movie of 2025 or 2026, which is Minions 3.
Nice, great pick, great pick.
So there is that.
Cool.
Bet Doomsday is his second.
No. He's very vocal. Doomsday, he is not excited for. He's a Doomsday hater.
All right. Well, that was fun Star Wars discussion there at the end as well. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe and all the other things, and we'll have another episode out. Who knows when, but hopefully sooner than later. And yeah, see you guys.
Bye.